jump to the end of the manual so that we can fill this in the half-hour slot that we've got, because I want to concentrate on after the break on the emotions and go right through. So this is a simulated picture, graphic design picture of the different facial features of somebody who's looked after their skin and somebody who hasn't. Okay, so it's up to you to determine which is which. Okay, and we'll note here that in these, and this is what first made me think about, age 20, no difference really. Age 30, no difference. Age 40, just a little bit. See the creases starting to show? And we're going to learn what creases. And I was told, never use that word wrinkle. You'll be in trouble. It's politically incorrect. Now, otherwise known as laughter lines. Okay. But don't use the wrinkle or the W word. Okay. So what the wrinkle is a tightening of the fibrin in the skin. Okay. Now we know that if you inject fibrin with Botox, it relaxes it. This is how they found it with people with dystonia and things originally. And what they found is it releases it, and then the muscle relaxes. And what they found is they used the same toxin, botulism toxin, it would get rid of the wrinkles. But of course, sometimes it gets rid of it too much, and the face drops. And this is what happened to a few years ago to Cliff Richard, who disappeared. You know, in all his young years, and he's 70-something now, he actually disappeared for a couple of years because his face completely dropped from the Botox. And he said he would never, never, never touch it again as a result of that. So people, sometimes it goes a bit too far. But of course, what happens with Botox is it comes back. It always comes back. So the wrinkle's there, it goes because you're doing it synthetically. You're not actually getting to the real core of what the wrinkle is, and you're about to do this, okay? So, or the crease, sorry. So you can see the crease developing at about 40 now. 50 is becoming a bit more apparent here across the forehead, and we're beginning to see changes in around the mouth here. 60, we're definitely getting the signs. If you get close on this, you're beginning to also see the brown marks on the skin, the pigmentation on the skin. Whereas this 60-year-old here is obviously, the facial features are a lot better. And by 70, we're beginning to get drooping, and as well as the creases here. And this really is the bit we want to get to, is the collagen. What collagen does is it gives a shape to our tissues. It's like the glue that holds us together. Okay? So it holds our muscles together, it holds our soft tissues, it's present within cartilage, within hyaline cartilage, and it's present within ligaments, and it's present mostly in skin. It's the biggest protein in skin is collagen. So collagen is really, really important. And that gives the strength together. Now, the second protein that's present in skin and many tissues, elastic tissues, is elastin. And elastin is something which, when we stretch it and let it go, it recoils. Okay, so that gives the twang back into the shape of it. So you can begin to see here, this lady's probably losing her twang, okay, as we all do from time to time, okay. This lady has not lost her twang. This lady is much better with her twang. And we'll see that there's also a fourth component called fibronectin to the structure of the extracellular matrix, or the things that hold us together. So, this is one I just downloaded. Raquel Welch was one of Hollywood's first sex symbols. Do you remember Raquel Welch in the million years BC? Yes, what a woman. Okay, at 71 years of age, she still looks flawless. Look at that. You want to be like that at 71? Okay, then my favourite, well, she's using the cream, yeah. 2 months ago, she didn't look anything like that. But look at Tina, this is my favourite. Tina Turner at 71, the undisputed queen of rock and roll. You know, still, that's that Tina Turner, yeah. Has still got it, and she did the impossible at the Grammy Awards when she shared the stage with Beyonce and had a better voice and better legs. Whoa. Yeah. Sorry, I haven't got a picture of her legs, but you can get plenty of DVDs with her. What a woman. And she uses the cream as well. So. On the male side, Sean Connery looks incredible at 81 now, Sean Connery. So, probably given up playing James Bond once and for all. Unfortunately for his fans, he retired from making public appearances in April this year, preferring to spend his remaining years on the golf course, which he always loved his golf, didn't he? Okay. And Harrison Ford has played some of the most coveted roles in movie history and has just approached his 70th birthday. He's still in demand in action hero and recent role in Cowboys and Aliens. Okay. Those of you who did some last year, I think it was, or the year before now, the photography, the digital computer diagnostics there, know that what we were looking at very much is we're using a program to cut the face in half and to see a mirror image of the left face and the right face. And we found, it's very much observed, that there's two individuals there. You know, there's a left one and a right brain, and these correspond to the brain activities. So from those faces, you could tell to distinguish between the two face pictures whether the person was coming from their left brain or from their right brain, and exactly what emotions and meridians they were. Now, that program, which I promised you, is now available. Okay, so it is, at last, it's available. It will be on to the website next week, and the guy is going to be working on through the autumn. And so what we'll do is we'll probably put a little seminar on about those if you're interested in digital computer photography, because it's a wonderful way of diagnosing problems and seeing people. He reckons by December, if we work him hard, he'll do a Mac version. So the first one will be obviously PC version, but he will do a Mac version because everything has to be translated. He says it's not beyond the possibility. But he's finally got and finished the program, which is great, and it's really good. You can use any camera, any resolution, it doesn't matter. But the greatest thing would be the iPod. If you've got an iPod, you can just go, take the picture, and the program can run on the iPod, and bing, you know, you get the two pictures left, right, straight in front of the patient. You know, really impressive. But most of us haven't got iPods, so we have to use an ordinary camera. But you know, what got me onto that program, you know, it will be available and on the website. Look at this man's face. Look at that for asymmetry. He may be 71, but he's got one hell of a problem. You know, even if you, the visual eye, the human eye looking at that, can see that the right brain there is a lot happier than the left. Look at that mouth going down there on one side, reflecting his left brain there. And also what I taught you on that is the shape of the eyes, the orbit of the eyes, which one is more open than the other, and the creases, you know, the symmetry of the creases here, the three things we looked at. He's completely dominant on one side rather than the other. He's got real problems. Not a happy man in there. Okay, with Sean Connery, look at him. He's much more balanced, isn't he? Left and right. You know, much more balanced. Only when he's drunk. He's allowed to when he's Scottish. Yes. It's the whiskey, it's not him, it's the whiskey. The whiskey made me do it. Okay. Or the golf. Okay. Right. So skin revitalization. Now, this is an interesting story. So the main proteins are collagen, which gives the shape to the skin. The thing about skin is that every extracellular matrix that's in the skin is in other tissues. So they're all in the skin, which is interesting. Collagen, all forms of collagen are in the skin, gives the shape. Elastin gives the recoil to the skin. Fibrin, which is the one that makes the creases. Oxidation, which causes the creases or wrinkles. So this is due to the sunlight and oxygen. This is why the sun and oxygen exposure is what ages the skin. And fibronectin, which restores the shape. So I'm going to show you a functional way of testing for each of these. This is Dr. Goodhart, who's the founder, as most of you know, of applied kinesiology, or muscle testing there. And I've used this one for several years now. This is him. Dr. Goodhart was a major in the US Air Force during the Second World War. And this is him in his military days. Okay? This is him when he started applied kinesiology. You can see, not a happy man. He was going through a lot of personal problems. But you can see, you know, what a distortion. Look at those eyes. There's a lot of anger in there. There's no anguish, fear in there. But he's beginning to age. He's still got his lovely square big head. They call that a bradycocephalic head when you've got a nice big one. All geniuses have that. Okay, and George was a genius. And then, at this stage, he's looking a bit lost. Okay, he's coming up for late 50s. Maybe early 60s. See, the cheeks are beginning to go there. Yeah. This is him in 2000. So he was 80 then. He looks much better, doesn't he? Between here and here, he remarried. I won't obviously tell you what the problem was. Okay, so here he was much happier man at 80. Became creative again, which was good. You know, he went through a tremendous creative period for the 20, 30 years, and then a little bit quieter, which is unusual for George, and then he came back in again in his happier times. And this one I took in about 2008. I actually took that one myself. And he suddenly became, you know, he aged towards the end very quickly. He had an accident with playing tennis and his leg wouldn't recover properly. And he went downhill quite fast. But his latter days were very fast, you know, the time. And as probably some of you know, he was at home with Joanne, his wife, and just had his lunch. And he said, I'm feeling a bit tired. Took a breath in, took a breath out, I'm gone. You know, perfect way, perfect way. So skin revitalization. What I found with a patient of mine had eczema around the eyelids. This was about a year ago. And I said, I know, I'll make you up a cream, which you can put on there. So we therapy localized it and tried to find out what we should put in the cream as a base cream. And what we found is that the lady strengthened to adenosylcobalamin. So I said, oh, it might make your skin a bit red, but we'll put some adenosylcobalamin into the cream. And she came back, whenever it was, a month or so later, and said, you know, she said, that cream was wonderful on the eczema's gone, but she said, so have my wrinkles. She said, my wrinkles are gone. And I said, really? Is this the elixir of youth that we're looking for? And so I tested the fibrin, and what you do with the fibrin is you look at the crease or the wrinkle, and you stretch it apart, okay? So where it goes, say, horizontally, you're stretching it vertically and inferiorly. So you're actually stretching the fibre which is contracted. Okay? This is very important. This is the challenge that you do. And if that wrinkle or crease creates a weakness, you know that that protein within the fibrin has contracted. So the answer is Botox or adenosylcobalamin. And I thought, this is interesting. So she was pleased, of course, and continued to buy the cream. And then I started doing it with collagen. And I found that consistently, people who weakened to the skin tug challenge with collagen. So to test for collagen, as we'll see, you simply get hold of the skin anyway, it doesn't matter, and tug the back of the hand where it's loose, okay, and maintain the tug. Because it's collagen which gives the glue or the shape to the skin, okay? It's not the recoil. So you tug, and in a person you can tug the cheek, you can tug the neck, anywhere where they're beginning to flop a bit, okay? So, could be here. Anywhere where the skin is loose. So you tug it and you hold it. It's a sustained challenge. Test the muscle, and if the muscle goes weak, stretching the collagen is an indication they've got a collagen problem. And there was one common substance to all these. And it was amazing. They're all B6. In fact, they're the active form of B6 because people seem to have problems with activating. But B6 is known to metabolize homocysteine to cysteine, and the major cause of breakdown of collagen, or the inability to make collagen properly, is a lack of B6. So the B6 metabolizes homocysteine, and homocysteine inhibits the final production of collagen by an enzyme called lysyl oxidase, but we won't go into that now. So collagen, we'll see, is pyridoxal 5-phosphate. Elastin, which gives the recoil, so we stretch it and let it go, and if that weakens, is methylcobalamin. It's a methylation defect. And finally, fibronectin, which is the fourth extracellular matrix there, we found by compressing. You poke your finger into the skin and let it take it away. And if they weaken to that, that's fibronectin, which gives the shape of the skin back and the recoil. So fibronectin is folinic acid. Okay, this is the regeneration inside here. People with fibronectin and fibrin problems are often have genetic defects. Marfan syndrome. It's called it. You may find you come across somebody with that. So what I want is to get everybody to just do this test. Quite simple. If I demonstrate it first of all, could I have a volunteer? Would you like to volunteer? Come out here.
Oh, this one's got the cream ones.
Yeah, just use the other one. Yeah. Okay, I'll do it standing up so you can see it. Okay, that one's got the cream on. So if I use,
yes.
Come around here. That's it. Good. Okay. So you stand and face there, and push your elbow up towards the ceiling around in a nice arc. So we do the middle fibre as a deltoid. Okay. Now what I want you to do with this one, just tug the skin. Okay, so she's just pulling the skin gently. Okay, make sure you don't put any pain into it, because we don't want to pinch. Okay, now you pull it and let it go, twang. Push. Oh. Oh, it's still there, look.
Yes, it's still there.
That's elastic recall problems, all right? Now, you all know which hormone that is. Okay. No, it's progesterone. Progesterone regulates elastin. So what we've got there is we've got a recall problem, so that's going to be the methylcobalamin. Then what we're going to do is we're going to stretch, not that I can find a crease with you. Okay, I'm going to stretch around, what do they call them, crow's legs or something, crow's claws?
Yes.
Crow's feet, yeah, I always get that wrong, okay. Chicken legs, right, push. Oh dear, we've got a crow's foot or something here. Okay, right, and the other one is we're just going to push into the belly of the muscle. So we'll take, say, the muscle here, the collective flexors there, and we just push in, just, you know, like as if you're poking somebody, and push up. So that's fibronectin. So fibronectin's okay. We've got a little problem with the creases there with the fibrin, and we've definitely got an elastin. Okay. Now she's put the cream on this one, so let's do it on.
One.
Oh, you put cream on that one.
Yeah, so
okay,
then
let's have
that's
some
much
more cream,
worse.
please. Can we have some cream?
Can you show again what you did with the crease?
Yeah, I just stretched it like that. Maybe Gary, can you get close on that one? Just pop it in.
And if there's a problem, it weakens.
It weakens, yeah. So what I did is yeah, let's move you around there, all right? Okay.
Should I take my glasses
No,
off?
it's all right, I can see. Okay. I can see. Okay, so I'm getting my fingers and I'm spreading them apart there, like that, okay? So as I spread them apart, I'm stretching it, okay, and it goes weak. Okay, so with the fibronectin there, just can you flick it back onto the chart there, for my overhead? So with the fibrin, it's adenosylcobalamin. So if we used adenosylcobalamin here, we were very tempted to think, I wonder what would happen if you put the spice into a cream and rub that on your face. Okay, so what we do is I'll slip that adenosylcobalamin underneath the there. So it's on you, but okay. Then I'll stretch the skin here and push. And you can see she holds nice and strong. So adenosylcobalamin, this is an indication she needs adenosyl, not methyl, it's adenosyl. But she's also got the, flick back, Gary. She's got the fibrin for the adenosyl, and she's got the elastin, which is the methyl. So you actually do need the two types of B12, yeah, for the skin, okay? But it's not because you're deficient in B12, it's deficient in being able to activate those to the coenzyme form to obviously make those two extracellular matrix proteins. So let's put that one there. So now let's rub the cream on. Okay, you do that. Now give it. You don't need very much.
Shall I put it on the one?
Yeah,
that-
put it on both now. When did you put it on that one?
Lunchtime.
Lunchtime. So
Get it done.
yeah. So what she needs to do ideally is to put this on certainly once, if not twice a day. Okay, massage it in. It won't change, you know, by tomorrow.
Is this,
but
is this a different, is this a new cream?
Yeah, and it's in mirror on glass, and it's been charged up. Really in the sun. We caught the sun just in time. Okay. What's it called? Wonder cream. Okay. Why? Because it does wonderful things. Okay. Where's Jane? Jane, is Jane there? Oh, is it? She was telling me that she had a sunspot, and she used that, and within a few weeks it had gone. She said she complained first of all that the cream wasn't creamy enough, and I said, well, what do you use normally? And she said Nivea. So everything's based on Nivea. So I said, well, try this, and she used it, and she said, yes, I like it. She said, but she's just told me that the sunspot's completely gone, and so that shows the healing properties of it. So what you should find if you use it regularly, and it's a regular thing as a moisturizer, I wouldn't put it on first thing in the morning if you're going to put makeup on. All right, you know, you need to put it in and let it sink in for a bit. So if you don't wear too much makeup, or particularly foundation, but for the evening time, it would be more the evening time. But you could put it in the morning. For a man, it's no problem. You know, you do it every morning. And put it anywhere where the skin is exposed to the light. Okay, because remember, that's the areas where you age. There's no point in putting it on the back or your bottom. Okay. We will make the lotion as well, and a number of other products, because I'm really concerned. I was using a skin cream, and I do a lot of soft tissue massage, you were joking about me doing soft tissue. They never heard of doing soft tissue, have you, at the British School of Osteopathy now? But I was trained, and I always like to do a lot of soft tissue with my patients. And I always use skin cream. And I was done this for 20 years. And I was appalled when I tested where it was affecting. So every day I was putting on an estrogen mimicker.
Ginger.
Ginger was the answer, yeah. So, you know, this is the thing, and that's a man, and you'll discard shaving foams, I can tell you, and anything. Shampoos, you need to be tested with it. And so the most important toiletries, more than cosmetics, toiletries, this common toiletries that we must give emphasis to and check with all your patients, not just you, but check with your patients as well if they show to chemical toxins, okay, is to check that they're tolerant on their hormones, okay. So it may be that they can tolerate that in moderate amounts at that particular time if I test you with shampoo, but if we tested the shampoo with his testicles, it's different. His testicles say, I'm finished, you know, I give up, you know, and that's the problem, is you're taking small amounts of these chemicals in over long periods of time. Where did we get to? All right, okay, now you need to take that off and do your face now.
Do my face with what?
With the cream, just down the wrinkles, okay. They're the creases. Not that there are any. Okay. Some people can actually, they say, oh, I can feel it tightening already. Now, that's not psychological. You can. You know, it reacts very quickly. But that, of course, doesn't last. But you do it once or twice a day regularly over a period of time. My patient, as I said, was sensitive to the mouthwash. I saw this week, whose multiple sclerosis case. She comes with her husband, and she said, Chris, she said, I don't know what's happened to you. And she said, you look so much younger. She said, tell my husband what you've been doing. I said, it's a new woman, Brian. And she said, oh no. She said, don't say that. I said, it's the cream. It's the cream. So she took the bottle of the cream and taken it away. Okay. So let's give a stretch. So I'm going to just stretch. Put your glasses back on so the test is always identical. Okay, so you go around there so we can see that what we're doing. So it goes the same spot. Stretch it out and push up. Stronger.
Cool.
Okay, now give a, what was it, a twang, wasn't it?
It slips off.
Yes. See, it's so good, it's tightening up already. Push up. Okay. So we'll see how long that lasts. We'll check you before the end of the seminar and see if it's lasted a bit longer. But if you do soft tissue work, massage or anything with your work, so if you do soft tissue massage, you want to use a cream like this. You don't want to use something which is going to go into you every day. You know, I perhaps do soft tissue with, I don't know, 10 patients, 15 patients a day, and I was putting this on. And it's very worrying. You think how much of that you've been absorbing over years and years and years.
But also the clients.
Yeah, but the client only gets one dose of it, but I get it every time I do the soft tissue. And I put some on for the lumbar spine, put some on for the neck, you know. And,
For any given amount of a particular toxin, giving it in multiple small doses is much more harmful than giving one dose of the same amount.
yeah, what this doctor said is that small amounts of a toxin are more potent, particularly to a person obviously who can't detoxify, than large amounts. And this has been proved with toxic metals and neurological problems. You know, low doses of lead in the old days was far more toxic to children than high doses of lead, and you're ill and you vomit and, you know. But low toxicity is very, very important. And these are, now we know so much more about the body types and the enzymes, you can begin to build up a dossier on people. So the chemical-wise, you'll build up a chemicals, your real nightmares are the greens. The greens, they all come from Scandinavia. We blame the rapage and the pillage that the Danes and the Danes, not that you're Danish, I'm not Danish, but you live there, it's the same. Have you become green, Sally?
No, I don't think so.
No, that's good. So you're not a true Dane. But actually Danes aren't Norse anyway, are they? If you go to Sweden, I used to teach in Sweden, and practically everybody in the seminar weakened to green. They're all related, or they're all related, yes. And they're all got nickel toxicity, and in Norway and Sweden they have one of the highest level, or the highest level, of multiple sclerosis in the whole world. They do a lot of research there, and they're trying to find out what it is, you know, whether it's radiation and so on. But, you know, these are the common things, nickel. And the Karolinski Institute there has done a lot of research into fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome with nickel toxicity. So heavy metals or toxic metals do inhibit enzyme function. And once it's inhibited, you know, you've got to get it out of the system to be able to start to get going again. You can take all the nutrients you want, but as soon as you stop taking the nutrients, the problem comes back again, which means there's a toxin in there which you haven't really got to grips with enough. And you've got to get this out of the system. And the herbs are very good, but the spices are even better. And you use the spice with the homeopathic is even better. And remember, in Miron glass, it activates, enhances the effect of the homeopathics. Oh, you've gone. Right, so let's put that there. I think, so stretch challenge for the collagen, twang challenge for the elastin. Fibrin is to stretch the creases. You can do this as we break. Fibronectin is skin pressure. All right. Now, what's in the cream is very important because, of course, why it's called Wonder Cream is because it has the Wonder Oil in it. And the Wonder Oil, of course, is the cold-pressed peanut oil and the cold-pressed sesame seed, which has been activated with the natural vitamin D through the sunlight and the mirror and glass. It contains cetyl alcohol from coconut, which is more of a saturated fat to give the firmness to it, and the same with shea butter. So the more unsaturated oils you have in a cream, the more liquid it is. The more saturated, the more solid it is. Okay, so that's the way it works. The more you want to get it to absorb, the more water is put in. Okay, so if you want an aqueous cream, it's largely water. So if you wanted a body lotion, then it's a much more watered down form of the same cream. Okay, so you need natural moisturizers, natural preservers, vitamin E, and we put a very small 1 or 2 drops only of lemongrass. Lemongrass just takes off the smell of the vegetable oil, which you just otherwise get a slight smell as if you're smelling the vegetable oil neat, and the lemongrass will take that away. We haven't found anybody react to lemongrass. We started with orange, and orange was very good, but people preferred lemongrass when we did the sort of market research on it. So lemongrass gives that lovely flavour, and we'll be looking at lemongrass with the Vital Energy Protector spray after the break.